Welcome back to Vegas Live with Ninon, and of course we're having a fabulous time down here at the Pepper Mill. I have Keith Kramer with me. Now I've known Keith for some time now, and you know we all know how hard it is to actually maintain a stream of trying to get into the industry, and the industry means the movie industry. And you have not given up, you have not stopped, Keith. You have like saying, I'm going to go there, I'm going to concentrate on where I want to get in the movie industry as of becoming an actor.
Yes.
How's it going?
It's actually going very well. I'm going to be working on film number 5 very shortly.
Wow,
here.
film number 5. Which is film number 1?
Film number 1 was Bus Party to Hell with the Mahal brothers.
That's right, and then I think I also did the red carpet on that one,
yes,
didn't I?
you absolutely did.
Yes, and we did that over at the town centre.
Yes, at town centre.
Town centre we did that at the movie house.
Yeah, that was in
there.
March or April.
Yeah, somewhere like that. And so since then, you know, you were excited about that because you had a part on that. And then you sort of, you know, you keep striving ahead. And at the same time, it's very difficult, you know, to keep going forward and being open to get a part.
Yes, it really is. You know, you have to keep pushing forward, and you can't let it get to you. I mean, you're going to get a lot more no's than you get yeses, and that it doesn't matter where you're at in the industry. You know, you can be an A-lister, and you still get turned down for parts. Nicolas Cage has been turned down for parts.
Well, yeah, because they know who they have in mind of what they want, and we sort of think, we take it personally, which we should not.
No, you should never take it personally. It's all in what they're looking for at the time, and you just may not be that person. It doesn't mean that you're not talented or that you don't have a great look. It's just you're not going to fit. Your character needs to be believable.
Yes.
And if they don't see you as being that believable person for that character, you're not going to get picked.
Yes, and there's nothing against you. And I remember somebody told me that many years ago. I said, Ninon, if you're not chosen for that particular part, it's not because you're not good and you're not this. It's not what they have in mind of what they want.
It's not their vision.
No, that's right. It's not their vision of it. So now we've got to the first one and the second one. Now we've got on the fifth one now. And
Yes.
I know you've been talking about what's happening next year, but what's happening the rest of this year?
The rest of this year, I actually going to be starting very soon. It's a film with Joko Films with Conrad Glover, Rebecca Okonski, the casting director, wonderful lady, and Cleo Flucker. I mean, they are an amazing group of people. I'm going to be working with people like Michael Forge, going to be with Coolio Kolev, another great guy, and I get to play an undercover detective.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So are you getting shows in the same sort of playing that role, or is it becoming different? Because you're very kind of...
I'm doing a lot of different things. I started out in horror, and I did 2 films in horror, and I didn't want to get typecast for just doing horror films. I wanted to be able to show that I can do any range of acting that was out there.
Because that can be very dangerous when you get into yourself in the same
really
role.
Especially in the beginning.
Yeah, you've got to be very careful you're not chosen for the same sort of thing, and it's how to, you know, change from being sort of in this sort of position and then going into this position.
Exactly.
So you make that very open.
Yes, you know, the thing is, the main thing you need to do in this industry is put some worth on who you are. You know what you want to do. It means turning down some parts and, you know, and not going to certain auditions just because you don't want to get typecast in
and
those.
The same thing all the time. So
right. So you want to look for the next thing that you want to branch out into and continue to work towards getting those.
Now, the reason he gets chosen for a lot of things is because when people are sort of putting you into their movie, they've got to have somebody that understands and to remember the lines of everything.
Yes.
A lot of people cannot. I'm one of them. You can't remember the lines that you've got to go. Now you're known as remembering the lines and to be able to go on stage and do it.
Yeah, I was given
How
a
do you do
lead.
that?
I was given a lead role at 10 o'clock at night and was asked to memorize 42 different pages of lines by noon the next day. I was up till 4 o'clock in the morning practicing lines, and then I went from 4 till 6 in the morning watching film after film after film to get the character down and the attitude of the New York City nightclub owner. And from there I just went in and started doing it.
So you went in and you remembered. How do you remember the lines? Because that's one of the hardest things, is remember the lines.
Well, you and I can sit and have a conversation. We'll go home and we can recall that conversation on what was said.
Yeah.
Right. That you have to get in your mindset that that your lines are something that actually happens. So you play out those roles as if it were something that happened in your life, and you convince your mind that it actually happened, and that's why it becomes easier for you to even remember your co-partner's
That's what
lines.
you do.
Yes.
You actually take over that incident.
Yes.
And you take it over. If I was in that incident, this is exactly what I would say. And it's funny, that's a great, what you said about, like a regular, like I was talking to somebody this morning. I'm going to remember that probably every single word.
Exactly.
And that's the same
You can
thing.
even go back a week later and still remember the majority of the conversation. And it's just all of being able to convince your mind that it was something that actually happened to you.
I think that's the secret you should have kept. Now you let everybody out there know how to do it.
Well, this isn't a business, as you know, where it's a competition. So, I'm more than willing to help anybody that wants to get into the industry. I actually have a producer friend out in LA who told me I should put together an instructional CD because I've done more work than most do in 5 years when they first start out.
And I was going to say, you haven't been that long as an actress.
No, I've only been in it for a little over a year and a half now.
So what is your game right now? You've got all this you've done, and now you've got stuff to go ahead of you. What have you got in your head of where you want to go and where you want to go?
Where I've wanted to go is, from the very beginning, is my goal is I want to end up doing a program that travels the world and highlights people who do things for others. I watch a show that's called CSS Hidden Heroes, and that's what they do. And I see Brooke Brooker on there all the time, and I am just very inspired by what they do. There's just way too much negativity on TV, and I want to be able to branch that out and show the positive side of
positive side, not negative. Negative is going to get you nowhere.
Exactly, and that's why my Instagram and my Facebook are always prefaced around being positive. I never put up anything that's politics. I don't get into religion real deep. It's always to keep everything positive and keep things to where you're not going to have conflict.
Well, acting is playing a part of somebody else anyway.
Yes, exactly.
So you don't have to follow anything at all. You're just going to follow the part of whatever the film is or whatever the series is. Or
and that's what I love
is.
about it. I get to be something that I'm not normally playing, like an undercover detective. I get to play a role where, it's totally out of my character to be, but the analytical side of me is where it's going to come into play.
Yeah. Look how excited he looks. So you've started something and you've really spent 100% of your time to be where you are now. You've also got a couple of things coming in, right?
Yes, I actually,
Next year?
let's see, I'm going to be doing When the Table Turns here with Joko Films. Then once I'm finished with that, I just received word yesterday that I'm also going to be in another film as well.
Wow.
And that's going to start in November. And then December, I received the word about a week ago that I'm going to be in that film as well.
Is that all in Vegas?
Yeah, this is all going to be in Vegas, so I have 3 films coming up in the next 3 months.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't that absolutely wonderful?
And then
I'm just so proud of you, Keith, because you have really you've ignored of everything, because a lot of people say, well, he's only been doing the music, and, because they haven't got the part and you've got the part, and, well, he hasn't been doing as much as long as I've been doing it, and you got all these, but you ignore them all and just keep going.
You have to ignore it. Anything that anybody comes out with you, that's an issue that they have going on with themselves. It's not with you. They
ignore it all and just keep going.
Exactly. I know who I am and I know where I want to go, and so long as I'm the one who's paying my bills, guess what? I'm going to go in the direction I need to go.
Absolutely. Okay, how can they find you?
They can find me on Facebook, Keith Kramer, or on Instagram, keith.kramer.bethebestYou, and also on Twitter as Keith K Invest.
Isn't that amazing? I'm so proud of him. He's been on my show quite a few times and everything else, and I just think it's amazing that nothing is going to stop Keith Kramer in actually going for a part. Whether he gets it or whether he doesn't, he's still going to try. But he seems to be getting them all. Thank you for watching, everybody. Keith is amazing. You're just a sweetheart. Mwah. Absolute sweetheart. Doing really, really great. And anything more wonderful to see on Vegas Live with Ninon is somebody moving forward. We'll be right back next week. Thank you for watching. Take care.